Let's pop that connector back off. Grab the top and the bottom and wiggle backwards.
We originally started out with this like circuit board, and Mr. Nolen just got it off like some guy on eBay. It was broken and nothing was connected to it.
We've started from nothing, and we first built the actual arcade machine from scratch. And my involvement with this was I designed in a CAD software the arcade machine onto a single piece of plywood that we later cut out onto a CNC machine.
And it turns out everything fits onto one sheet of plywood, which makes a lot of sense. Back then, they would have saved money by making the cabinet fit on a single sheet.
My favorite part of this was just putting things together, like just individually adding stuff and to make a bigger goal come true.
We kind of started with the manual that was the actual arcade machine, and that was where we got a lot of the measurements, but everything else we kind of had to guess and check and try and fit onto what we already had.
Here's the real issue. So legitimately, we're having a setback, so this is not going to be an easy one to do, but we can figure this out. The wiring had to be figured out from some hand-drawn drawings. There were no graphics of a real one working on the internet, so we had to actually design that ourselves.
A lot of people have worked on this project, and I think that's a very important lesson because you need to collaborate together to, work towards solutions.
Now, legitimately, how do we drill this?
The hardest part was really not knowing very much about the arcade machine. It wasn't well documented, and everything was hard to put together and really know what to do, where to put everything, and we kind of had to do a lot of guesswork.
Because you drew this, right?
Yep.
You still have the inventor file? So we could, because I like the width of it. We've had a number of machines that we've had involved with it. The 3D printer, we're gonna have to use the laser engraver to do some graphics. We're gonna use the vinyl cutter to work, the CNC router. So really using a lot of the tools between the middle school and the high school.
I'm really glad I had this experience with him. I really think that this kind of involvement and this kind of hands-on activity is really helpful, especially for younger minds, because we learn from experiencing.
Just sitting at a desk taking tests is just not what I like to do. I like to put my hands on the material.
So the students at Thomas Jefferson learned about logic gates and circuits and electronics. The students at the Career Center actually drew the cabinet from the original blueprints.
I designed the logo that we're going to be putting on the exterior of the cabinet. Finding a file that actually showed the original logo so that I could replicate that was difficult. There really was only one on the internet.
And as we're going through this, I've had to rely on the students' skill sets that they've either learned on their own or they've been exploring in class in order to really come up with this finished product. In our class, we had to do the soldering, we had to do the DC voltages and make sure that was all correct. So today's kind of the big reveal on it, and you guys will actually get a chance to play it. This is not your Xbox 360, but I think you guys will get a kick out of what we came up with. Ready? There it is. Came out pretty nice, huh?
How many healths you got?
You get as many healths as you want, but it's time. All right, there you go. There's your game. Yeah, it's easier to randomly come backward. Oh, we need a high score contest. Joe, what? All right, who's next?
It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because we started with a piece of wood, and then in the end we came up with this.
It's really awesome. These boards have been in storage for over 40, 30 years. And just seeing something so old come to life is really amazing.
You think you start with nothing, but then at the end, you end up with something more than you have. I think it came out great.
It's a relief that it all works. When you're dealing with 43-year-old circuit boards, you never know what you're going to get. It's humbling when you see something this big of a project pulled together and all the people that had to support you to do it. And I'm grateful for all the support in the county to be able to do these crazy initiatives and then really see student learning at that project-based level.
I hope this inspires more people to, refurbish things and do things with their hands.